Hello grievers. Today I'm going to be talking to you about compass intention words. Back in 2020 a friend of me introduced me to picking a word for the year, and they're called compass intention words. As grievers, those are words that can help support us and guide us throughout the next year or the year that we are in. The words I've picked for prior years, my first one I picked in 2021, which was intentional. This was about curating what I wanted to start to build in my life. Lisa was about 4 years into her cancer journey, and we knew the clock was starting to tick down and that we were somewhere in around about the 2 years remaining. So one thing I wanted to be intentional about was I wanted to move home, and I wrote a list of everything that I wanted in that home, and also how I was going to take Maggie with me. So Maggie died in the 2019, so Maggie was my lovely tri-coloured corgi, and I wanted to take her with me and also figure out how I could take care of myself, because I wasn't going to be any longer be able to look down where her favourite spot was in the hallway or other rooms and be able to kind of see her there in my mind's eye. So how was I going to be able to take her with me? And so I wanted to be really intentional about things. 2022 was about prudence, and being prudent, which is having the skill of good judgment in what I knew was going to be coming up for Lisa on her cancer journey. It was going to be getting harder and harder, and I wanted to think about the memories and experiences that we wanted to make together, and that she also wanted as well. So I knew it was going to take some skill and good judgment for doing those things, with just things being so hard with a cancer journey. And when I look into words, so once the word kind of comes to me that I'm either feeling drawn to, I'm researching it, I'm finding what the dictionary meaning is of it, so then I'm like, okay, that does align up to what I'm looking for. So then in 2023 I came across the word called impermanence, and I heard about it from Thich Nhat Hanh, and this was the year that Lisa had died in the 2022, so my first new year without her, and it helped remind me that nothing was permanent. No feeling, no state of being, and unfortunately no person was permanent. And it just helped me, so that then when things were feeling extraordinarily horrible, like those extra levels of horrible, there was that reminder, this is not permanent. And it really helped and supported me. And then this past year of 2024, I picked courage. I knew it was going to be a tough year for me. I was going to be breaking down and building up things in all aspects of my life and in myself, and courage was going to be needed in the buckets full, and it was. And then what I found is the years stick with me. So what I end up doing is I make a poster board, and my one's just over there, and I make a poster board, put, you know, what year it is, the word, what it means to me, and I also then put things on that year, so then I can keep an eye out for certain things. The ones that are easy for me are the anniversary dates. I remember all of those just very naturally, but then there might be other things significant in those years. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago that we had the Queen's Jubilee, and then we later had the coronation for the King, and then there's all sorts of other things that come up that you're just like, oh my goodness, that's the first time that's going to happen without my person, and when you would maybe celebrate normally with that person, or maybe you wouldn't, depending on who they are to you. And I keep them, so I've got all my ones in here. 2024's not been added yet. I actually need to do my poster board still, and that's going to happen in a couple of weeks because I'm going to be traveling soon. So they stick with me, and because the intention's laid in for a year, it really ends up sticking in like a habit. And so the support continues to be there with that compass point. So I'm still going to need courage this year. I'm still going to need to remember impermanence. I'm still going to want to have prudence when it comes to picking things, and be intentional about things as well. Intentional about where and who I spend my time with. So that's that. And then I always pick pretty notebooks and things. So I want to know what compass and intention word you are looking at for 2025 that will support you in your grief. You can post them in the chat, and I'll give you some ideas for you to be able to percolate on. If you're like, okay, I want to do that, but where do I start? So I've got them written down so then I remember them. You could pick brave, you could pick curious, you could pick hopeful, loving, intentional, honor, soothing, comfort. Any of those or none of those. Like, pick a word that really just feels like love to you and caring to you and soft and kind. All of those types of things, and any of those words that I've just said might be a thing. So I chose for 2026 the word freedom. I'm starting to come out of my burnout from the long-term illness. Just watching that and witnessing it and experiencing it as an onlooker to my sister going through a long-term illness. And there's a lot of burnout that comes with that. And I had burnout in other aspects of my life. And then you get the burnout from the grief. And I feel like I'm starting to come out of that. I kind of speak of it of like, kind of like the curtains twitching to start to spread. And I want freedom in my life. So that word feels really, really good to me. I also find that none of these words speak in any sense that is positive or negative. They're very neutral words to me and are very supportive in all different aspects. So that's what I'm picking. What I'm going to do is do check-ins with you guys throughout the year. So I thought doing check-ins around about the seasonal changes of spring, summer and autumn, and then winter would be us going through the festive season, which I did a few videos on tips of when feeling festive feels impossible, and that would be around that time of year. And then we will be back in December, January and picking the 2026 word. So that's what I'll be doing there. And I may have said 2026, my word was freedom, which I meant 2025. So hello to me doing single role takes on these videos. I look forward to seeing what word you pick, and take good care of you.